Top 5 Tour, helping you find the best.
Currently here with KT, who runs Christchurch Sea Kayaking on the beautiful Avon River. KT, what got you into running a sea kayaking business?
Well, I've done a lot of sea kayaking in my day. So I used to work in Abel Tasman sea kayak guiding and the same in Fiordland. And after that I got into outdoor instructing at one of the local schools, and then after deciding that I'd been away for so long, I wanted to stay around this area, and the best way to do that was to make a business that was in the actual Christchurch district that suited me. So the sea kayaking ended up becoming an idea that I came up with in Vietnam, really, when they were doing tours down their local rivers. So I thought, why couldn't I do it here?
It is such a beautiful river, and you know, is there any other place in New Zealand where you can actually do? I think it's probably the only one, isn't it? Maybe Hamilton?
Yeah, I'm actually not too sure. If anybody knows, let us know. Yeah, I did see there was a tour that takes people into Hamilton, I think. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I think I might be the only one that's taking tours via sea kayak through the actual city.
Through a city, yeah. And you're also unique in that your people have been here for what, 47 generations? So you are Māori. What did the river mean to the Māori people?
Yep, I'm Waitaha, and the rivers, of course, are the lifeline of Papatūānuku, our Earth Mother, so it's the lifeline for us as well, so very connected to the rivers. Waitaha actually had a pā, which is in the middle of the city centre, called Puari, and they used to live right next to the Avon River.
And KT, do you tie in any of your Māori history into the tour, like any stories about what the river means to the local Māori people?
Yeah, for sure. Yep, it's definitely part of my life. So as a tour going through the natural areas, I definitely add in a few stories in there, a few place names, some te reo Māori, the Māori language, and a classic one I like to talk about is a story between Papatūānuku, the Earth Mother, and Ranginui, the Sky Father, and I talk about the creation story that we've been passed down through the generations. So we've got a ui whakatauki, which is like a proverb, or it's something that you remember so that you can understand the things around us. And I've got this one here which talks about the waters and how they are the tears of the continuous love of the great Sky Father for his beloved. Ngā wai, te rā i ngā roi mata whakatere aroha, o ranginui mātua mō tōna tahu. And that just shows that we've got the stories and we've given the personifications of the natural elements so that we can take care of them when we consider them as entities just like ourselves. It's easier to take care of the natural environment that way.
Now with your tours, you've got a number of tours. Can you explain, you know, what variety of tours you do have on offer?
Yes, so we've got our longest tour is the City to Sea, and that one starts at the Margaret Mahihi playground in the middle of the city centre. So you get a taste of the city, go through the red zone and cross the estuary and finish at Monk's Bay. And this is a great tour for anyone who wants to have a bit of an adventure, going nearly 20 kilometres with the help of the river, of course, and the help of the tide pushing us out.
How long does that tour take?
It's around 5 or so hours, and that's also with the stops and the safety briefing at the start.
And for people who don't know, the red zone is?
So in 2011 we had pretty devastating earthquakes, and what happened was that within these earthquakes the soil of Christchurch is pretty sandy, so it's not so good to build on, and the houses that were in a lot of suburbs were destroyed. They were bought up by Crown, and so now they've demolished all those buildings, and in their space has become nature again. So all of the trees that you see around there are people's gardens, and yeah, so it's quite an interesting place to kayak through. It's a great way to be able to get right in the middle of the red zone area to get a view from the water.
So you have the City to Sea tour, but you've got a number of other tours too, is that right, KT?
Yeah, I've got a couple. One is the City to Estuary tour, and that takes us same place from Margaret Mayhew Playground, down the Avon and through the red zone, and it finishes at the start of the estuary. So we don't cross the estuary in that tour because of the tides. So I've worked it out so that we can work with nature. So I can do about 5 days of City to Estuary before the tides change, and they become good for about 5 days of the City to Sea tour, and then that leaves another 5 days where the tide is okay for our Botanic Garden, City Centre, Porritt Park Red Zone tour. Yeah.
So with regard to those tours, how long do they take? Like the estuary tour, what sort of time are you looking at?
Well, the Botanic Gardens and the estuary tour actually turn out to be around about the same time, around 4 hours.
Yep. All right. And what sort of people do you find are doing the tours? Like, is it open to everyone? Is there an age limit?
Yeah, it's available for most people for sure. If you're adventurous, then the City to Sea tour could be for you. Even if you haven't kayaked before, that's a fine trip to come and do as well. The Botanic Gardens, we can have younger children who are supervised by an adult. However, the younger children wouldn't be ideal for the City to Sea or the City to Estuary, just because of the distance.
Because you are paddling yourself, aren't you? You're paddling your own kayak.
Yes, yep, you've got your own waka. They are double kayaks, so it's great to have that strength mix between two people. But yeah, once you got younger people on board, then they could get tuckered out a bit easier.
And how have people found the tour? What's been the response? Because how long have you been running it for? It's a fairly new...
Yeah, this is a new venture. I started this properly this summer, and the people I'm getting are a real range, from kids to retirees to all types of ethnicities, from foreign people to local people as well, and yeah, and lots of different abilities.
It is fairly unique, isn't it? I mean, we've got the punting, on the river, but this is where you're actually getting to see a lot more of the river and the city.
Yeah, for sure. So mine's slightly different, as it's a journey. It's from point A to point B, and along the way I talk about all the stories and all the things that we see as well. So having it guided like that really gets the depth of the area, and I like to share that knowledge with people.
Fantastic. Well, thanks for your time, KT. Let's go out on the river now and go for a bit of a paddle.
Yeah, let's get out there.
Thank you.
Cheers.